So right now we're standing pretty much in the middle of what we've been calling the Orangutan Haven, and as you can tell, it's a big place. It's taken us over half an hour to walk here, and this is the area where we plan for the Orangutan Islands themselves, where we can develop some facilities, naturalistic areas for the orangutans that we can't release, like Losa, Tila and Dekno. This is perfect. It used to be fish ponds, and there's a permanent water source into this area. But all in the hills behind us as well, we've got all sorts of like different agricultural crops growing. We've got oranges, we've got oil palm, we've got rubber, we've got corn, and there's an opportunity there eventually to develop sort of an agricultural, a sustainable agriculture training program and information centre. But right now we're focusing on stage one. And stage one involves developing the islands for the orangutans, but also an education centre towards the entrance area, an ecology centre which we want schools and university students to use for research projects on biodiversity, plants and everything else that's in the area, and eventually a restaurant and things like that. But we're forced by necessity to take this in stages, step by step. The land is big, it's 48 hectares, and it's very expensive. We've secured it, so we've got all the paperwork now that it now belongs to us, but we've still got some outstanding loans to pay off, and we'd really love to raise a few $100,000 each year for the next few years to pay that off. But construction then and everything else is going to take even more funds, and we need the support from not just people overseas. Hopefully eventually we get support from local people in Medan as well, but I think before we can do that we need to really show that this project is unique, high standard, transparent and everything else, and then the potential to raise funds is great. But right now we have to prioritize developing them to pay off the land and to develop stage one. The whole idea for the haven itself developed from trying to find a solution for the few orangutans that we've got that we cannot ever release to the wild. One was shot 62 times with an air rifle and is blind, another one has hepatitis B, another one has a chronic arthritic condition, and I don't want to see those animals spending the next 40 years in the cages at the quarantine. I'd much rather get them out here where they can have a much better quality of life, but also people from Medan can come here and learn about the problems. A lot of the destruction of orangutan habitat is done by major companies, palm oil companies, various mines and everything else. And a lot of the people that manage these companies and direct these companies and own them are often Medan-based people, the middle classes and above. And it's exactly those kind of people I would like to get out here so they can see face to face with their own eyes. Why can't this orangutan be released? Well, he's got all these bullets in him. Oh, really? Yeah, there's an X-ray, And so they can actually make that connection to what decisions they make in their office and what happens to wildlife out in the forest. But the long term is not just orangutans that will benefit from this centre. There's an awful lot of animals traded on the side of the road and in markets in Medan, such as fruit bats, slow loris and things like that. And again, it's those same Medan middle classes that tend to buy these animals. And they've only ever seen them at the side of the road in a tiny cage. They've never seen fruit bats in the wild or in a forest. They've never seen a loris in its natural habitat at dusk. And I hope to be able to do that here, to be able to show them and educate them and create empathy for these species so that the demand for the wildlife trade actually goes down over the next few years. And long term, there's scope for more focused conservation breeding programs, such as Batagur turtles, which are now only found in one estuary on the entire east coast of Sumatra. There's a lot of scope there for taking some eggs from wild nests and hatching them up and breeding them up and restocking various areas of the wild where they've disappeared. And so there's an awful lot of potential, not just for orangutans, not just for the traded animals, but for many, many other species as well.